Good morning, Ramon. It sounded like your computer was waking up there as well.
Yeah, I'm waking up too with it. Mr. Computer over here is crashing and go, but hey, it's time to go live. So don't delay any further. We've got nothing to talk about. It was a boring weekend in sports. No, nothing to see here.
Yeah, I mean, I
Nothing
don't think
happened.
hardly anything happened yesterday at all.
I can't think of a darn thing to talk about here with yesterday's action. So nobody cares about sports anymore. We only had the world's biggest sporting event coming down to one of the most incredible games ever in the world's most popular sport. And then the NFL came along and said,
Right.
hold my coffee. Right, Mindy? Everyone, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning steam with Mindy Hahn. I'm Ramon Scott. Um, we have a big giant elephant in the room named the New England Patriots. We could talk of the World Cup because it was a great game, but leave it to the experts. I mean, when we got off the air yesterday, it was 2-0. I was about ready to put Argentina, you know, campeón mundial. But then Mbappe gets 2 goals in 90 seconds. They ended up scoring again, and then a penalty kick. Really, truly exciting. Uh, Elon Musk and Jared Kushner's together in the just bizarre things, but then penalty kicks and
Bizarre.
nobody wants to see it decided like that. But I know everybody complains, that says, "Oh, play to the death," right? Maybe in the World Cup final they should, but you can't really change the format. But spectacular game, incredible game, and then the NFL showed up. Wasn't just about the Patriots I don't want to even say misfortune. Let's just talk about it, Mindy.
I was like, can you imagine being a Raiders fan, right? You have Baker Mayfield go and, put up a 98-yarder on you one week, and then you have the craziest play in NFL happen the following. Oh, it's nuts, isn't it? I don't know what was going on in that.
The great late Bill King, the Raiders announcer back in the day, one time the Chargers lost to the Raiders on a famous play called the Holy Roller. If you've ever seen this one, Mindy, the Raiders were down to their last play, and Ken Stabler rolled out to the right, and he couldn't find a receiver, so he purposely rolled the ball forward as a type of a fumble, and it was kicked around by Dave Casper, and Mark Van Egan fell on it in the end zone, and Bill King said, "The Raiders have won on the most zaniest, impossible, improbable play you'll ever see," something to that effect. And then we saw last night a play. There used to be something before videos and social media and YouTube and computers. There was a thing called the football follies that they would show on TV.
I do remember
And
that,
really,
yes.
because there wasn't, a lot of games. I mean, there was games on TV, but there wasn't like all the highlights of every game. So but they would, find the craziest plays, and everybody would laugh at watching the, football follies. I mean, before yesterday, maybe the worst, stupidest play in NFL history was the miracle in the Meadowlands when
Okay.
Joe Pisarcik tried to hand off the ball to kill the clock to Larry Zonka, who was on the Giants at that point, and they fumbled it, and Herman Edwards, the coach of them, he was with the Eagles, and he runs it into the end zone for a touchdown, and that really has stood out as really the stupidest play in NFL history before
now.
yesterday's play. And Jacoby Myers, who probably sounds like a law firm more than a football player, good luck in your next endeavor. No, you're not going to give up on Jacoby Myers, but it's almost like people like the new generation almost forgets how to play the game sometimes. He made a play where, yes, we've seen it plenty of times, Mindy, where the team is trailing and the other team gets the touchdown, right? And we all make fun of it the next day because it affects the spread. But here it was, the you know last seconds where we're just ready to go to overtime. A big run too. He could have
Right.
actually the first lateral, even though Ramondre said, takes full responsibility on the play for lateraling. I really didn't mind the first lateral to the player right next to him. He could have, squeaked by someone along the right sideline and maybe run it in 0.01% of the time for a miracle finish. But
Right.
for some reason, he thought he was in one of those desperation modes where they needed the multilateral play that never works anyways. And what could,
Yeah.
I'll stop talking about. I mean, everybody saw it. I mean, nobody.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, and that's why we love sports. We're always looking for something we'll never see again, and hopefully,
No one wants to see that. I mean, come on.
so. What'd you think? Did I cover it all? I mean, I could describe. Everybody's seen it, but
Yeah, no, I think you got it. Again, it was like, what was he thinking about throwing it, about 20 yards backwards? That's the craziest part, like I could see like if he threw it like, to the next guy behind him or something, but I mean, he chucked it across the field. It was crazy.
right.
Oh
And
man.
Mac Jones was just in the way at that point
And then
of
just ran him over. Yeah.
Chandler Jones, who makes a great play on the ball.
Right. Yeah, so I thought it was a pretty good day yesterday of football.
Ron says his Lions are going to the Super Bowl, and the the Lions had a 1.5% chance of making the playoffs after that bad run they had following that first that good start, and now that's less odds than hitting a one outer on the river, and all of a sudden, the Lions are in position. You know who else is in position, Mindy, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, they have a chance now, possibly in the final game of the season. They could be playing for the division title against the Tennessee Titans at home. Crazy there. So interesting results, and we'll get into our previews and everything. But just want to say hello to everyone in the chat, and talking to everyone here coming in, getting ready. People starting to file in. We get ready to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at our leaderboard, Mindy. Where I don't know. I think you're going to be on top again. You're hot. Mindy's hot. Mindy's the hottest handicapper over at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's bring it up here and check it out. Pretty strong day. Here it comes. All right.
Here she goes.
And Tiffany's actually on top, also pretty strong of late. She's had some ups and down days, but lots of good days too. So 10, 3, and 1 for Tiffany yesterday, plus 650 units. Nick with a 4 and 1 day. Mindy with another good day, 10 and 7. But look at for the week, last 7 days, 1,031 units. And how about the morning steam, Mindy?
Hey, look at us go.
Good. Congratulations to everybody in the chat helping us out, keeping us on that leaderboard yesterday. A 6 and 3 performance yesterday, Mindy, and a couple of winning days for Team Steam. So good job there. Over at Tony'sPicks.com, use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages, including those from our own Mindy Hahn. What's going on today at the site on a Monday?
I know, right? Well, I got some packages ready to roll. 5-pack in college basketball. Then I got a 3-pack for the NBA, and then a 3-pack for the NHL there as well. So might have a couple more plays, but that's kind of most of the bulk of what I'm going to be having, here today so far. So was looking forward to the weekend. Otherwise I was kind of just staying like right on pace there last week, and then kind of started hitting it big here this weekend. So it kind of goes ebbs and flows a little bit like that. So just ready to stay on top, keep it going a little bit at a time. We all know it's hard to beat Vegas, so just need to keep that rolling.
Don't forget to click on the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. And also don't forget to check out our premium picks section. These are absolutely our best picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. You see Mindy's package there for her college basketball, but all of our cappers have their best bets, including Tony T's best bet tonight, or today, I should say, Mindy, in college football. We'll be previewing a couple of bowl games today, including the Myrtle Beach Bowl and the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. A couple of bowl games, one today and one tomorrow, and Tony's got a play there. He's also got his best bet for Monday in tonight's NFL game. We'll lead off the show with NFL. We'll talk college football. We'll talk pro basketball and college basketball. Today you see Ben also with his best bet in the NFL tonight. You can't. They don't swap out Monday night games, Mindy. We're stuck with this one.
Right.
But,
right.
I think for all the talk about Baker, I mean, at least that gives us something to kind of watch. And don't forget Aaron. We got Aaron, but we got Baker. And so that kind of saves the day, I think, a little bit. So, all right, use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages. Don't forget our pick ticker. Our a la carte plays are sold at Tony's Picks, every play for $25. And there you see the list of plays today, including a lot of plays from Mindy in college basketball, hockey, pro basketball. Ben's up there with some plays as well. And Daniel got plays loaded. Collins ready for the football game tonight as well. So Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. All right, we're letting everyone file in. Dave says, are they having a golf tournament out there at Myrtle Beach, right? I mean, they're so good that they have their own bowl game. Hey, how about welcome to Gangster Mafia Don here. Appreciate seeing you. And that's great to have you. Oh, wow. Look at this, Mindy. That's got to make you feel really good.
It does. Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. So, all right, Mindy, we'll get into it. I'm just tracking some steam coming in here. I just saw the line currently moving on a game between North Dakota State and Western Illinois. That one's moved up from 148.5 up to 149. I'm going to try to keep us up to date on any moves that happen. Kind of a new feature I'm kind of going to try to add here on the morning steam. You always kind of promote the steam because I'm, able to come in and update those lines with the line moves, but I'd like to add some live line moves as well. So anytime I see something come in, I'm going to try to, maybe interrupt the flow a little bit, not during the previews necessarily, but maybe in between games if I see the tote board. That's why I was firing up the computer over here, so I'm able to look at it as it comes in. But awesome to have a new face in here joining us. Gangster Mafia Don. Mindy, I don't know if Gangster Mafia Don's starting to use your plays. It looks like, going to meet the man on Tuesday for the money with the paper sack.
That's
at
right.
the Italian restaurant.
Commish.
Yeah, get the bets paid off. So
funny.
He's got the guy coming. I don't think he's going to put it all on Monday Night Football with this bad game that we're going to start with, but just want to see everyone here. Curtis is here today. Matt's here. The Crazy Games, certainly. Butterscotch. Lakers blowing that huge lead. They didn't cover the number yesterday. End up winning by 2.
Yeah,
so
a weird play.
Yeah, yeah. And all right, I think we've said hello to everyone, at least in the chat. So let's kind of get rolling with the games. A medium card. Not much to talk about in college basketball, but we will preview some games certainly. And let's get ready for the free picks rundown here. Comments rolling in. Yeah, but you know what, Dave? He's the best offensive player in the NBA, but man, they are starting to really go at Joker big time. They're attacking Joker a little bit. Uh, not really playing too well defensively. So, yeah, he might come back and maybe, especially if the Nuggets have a good season. I don't know. A lot of times voters are willing to overlook that, but to me, it looks pretty obvious right now. And I don't know. I don't think he's slowed by an injury or anything, but seems like they've found ways to kind of break him down a little bit defensively. So, Butterscotch, I think he's saying Monday Night Football might have a lock here.
Uh-oh, a lock. Oh, wow. Good. I might need a lock.
Well, please. You're going to give us the winner here. Well, I don't know. You already have the Monday night game on your premium, so
I do not. I don't know if I'm going to be in.
not.
No, I do not have the Monday night game in there. So
you explained it perfectly to me, and I just figured you did.
Yeah. No, right now I just got the NBA, NHL, college basketball. Okay. So I don't know yet about this afternoon's bowl game, and not quite sure yet on Monday Night Football. Might just be a spectator again this evening.
Okay,
we'll see.
Yeah. Do you think it's because, if we get rolling with it here, do you think it's because the quality of the game, Mindy? You don't have playoff contenders necessarily. The Packers would have to do a lot of work from this point.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just because there's a lot of things that aren't the norm, right? I mean, Packers just aren't playing as well as, usual. And then now you have this Rams team with this new quarterback. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it, plays out. I do a lot of the work, on the numbers, and sometimes it's, kind of hard if there's a lot of new information to these squads here as well. But yeah, I mean, Packers, though, still putting up, about 21 points a game. It puts them like 22nd in the NFL. We're used to them scoring here a little bit more. Rams averaging, 16 points a game. But again, they went from suddenly being the most, pass-heavy team to then the most run-heavy team. So how are they going to be here again tonight? I mean, defensively, they average about the same. They each give out about, 23 points a game. If I take a look at, where we've been in the past, it's a little bit different. Rams 13-3-1 in the last 17 in December. But of course, we know we have a different, Rams team. If I take a look at, Green Bay, they average about 61 and a half plays a game. This LA team, 58. So we still have, Green Bay that likes to, maybe have a little bit more time with the ball here today. I kind of think in this one, I think Green Bay probably will get the win, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams here plus a 7 today. I kind of got this one about a field goal game here myself.
Yeah, I mean, who is Green Bay to go out and cover a touchdown against anybody, especially against the great Baker Mayfield? Mindy, I mean, seeing what Baker did last week on about 1 day's worth of it wasn't even a practice, probably. I mean, basically went out there, put on the uniform, met the guys on the sideline, and had a great game. So what's he going to do with a whole week to prepare? He might, rescue the Rams and be the quarterback of the future. I don't know. I joked with you and I said, what are the chances that Baker Mayfield is the quarterback of the Rams next year? And you kind of said, well, yeah, I guess I never thought of that. But again, Matthew Stafford is in a situation right now where, his health is compromised. His physical health is compromised. That I said, it might actually be tough for Matthew. It depends on how these injuries heal and whatever. Seems like a competitor, but he got his Super Bowl and all that. So Baker's not done in his career. Well, some people would say he is, right as he latches on with another team. Maybe he'll end up in that other league. So he'll come out there, right? So, I mean, he did. That's the kind of player he is. I think Baker might actually be better on no preparation
Then having to think about it, right? Yeah.
rolling with a team. But even before that, Mindy, the Rams had covered the previous 2 games before Baker stepped in to the lineup. They've actually covered 3 straight, and we kind of make fun, uh, you know, of their coaching situation. I mean, when you go from genius to do we even know what McVay's doing? But maybe he's still a pretty decent young coach. Uh, and we know Green Bay can have some issues. Certainly, Rodgers looks kind of like it's over for him too. And I've joked with you that maybe he'll end up with the Raiders, right? So
Right.
Butterscotch coming in with some comments, and we're getting to start to get our plays coming in. Butterscotch likes it over, and Crush says he's on the Rams, and Matt was making fun of Baker, with his helmet off. No, I don't know. I kind of like Baker as well. I mean, maybe he came in, overrated or whatever, but he's had his moments with every team he's been with. Just he's made enough mistakes that sometimes you can still write it up. There it is, right there. It's exactly what I was going to kind of write. I mean, you think you're better than you are, so you try to make plays. So yeah, but Matt, I mean, are the Packers ever doing anything defensively these days, as well? So these teams met last year in November. It was 36-28. Green Bay won the game against the Rams team that would eventually go on to win the Super Bowl. So that was kind of interesting. So I'm going to agree, though, Mindy. I think just 7 points too much here in a game like this. Low total. So you talk about the over there in the chat, and maybe that could happen in this one, but the totals kind of moved south a little bit. I'm going to take the Rams with you, Mindy. We're going to
All
make
right.
a consensus play out of it.
Let's do it.
Just seems like too many points, bad football, right? You guys, come on. The Packers are going to blow somebody. I mean, I say blowout. I mean, in the NFL, where, right, I don't know. I watch Red Zone when I watch the game. Right, every game, and
Right.
they make a point. Every game is here with the witching hour is within 1 score. Why wouldn't this game be within 1 score? This game is
Right.
special here. So yeah, Matt, dome teams in frigid weather didn't work against them, right? So yeah, I mean, and again, the Packers aren't doing anything special this season. We know that. Although uh, I think a case could be made. We want to see their great young wide receiver. This guy's red hot right now, Mindy. You talk about some of the players coming into the game and what they've done this season, but no doubt about it that you have Christian Watson, who I'm trying to recall what the stat is. Curtis comes in saying he likes the over. But I think it's like 15 catches and 7 touch. I mean, it's just insane what he's done. And that's the other thing that has to toy a little bit with Rodgers moving forward, especially don't forget what Dobbs did before he got injured. He was that guy too.
Right.
So he's really, the Packers were in a situation where maybe he was saying, "Oh man, I really don't have the receivers." But Dobbs came in. Now maybe it's partly Rodgers too. We, want to, kick him to the curb, say he's done, say he's over the hill, and he's laying there on the ground, sacked with his helmet on his forehead, and you know, probably in disarray because of his crazy drink he's drinking, but still, Dobbs was hot. He got injured. Then Martin, uh, their new wide receiver steps in and he's red hot. So, and he looks like a real talent. So there's a little bit to be said for maybe the Packers' future, but In this one, let's take the Rams.
All
Thanks to
right.
everybody in the chat with some plays today. Scotch has Green Bay coming off a bye, maybe ready to play, dominate time of possession. Who can the Rams rely for a touchdown? All right. Appreciate it. That's a look at the NFL game tonight. All right, there's some bowl games coming up, including one today. We're going to go to the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Mindy, for this one. Connecticut and Marshall. Definitely interesting as far as where these teams are coming from and where they've been this season, right? Marshall, though, huge favorite here in a bowl game. I will mention, Mindy, unders are hot right now to start. In the bowls. The
Right.
unders are coming in so far, but this one is that one we always talk about, double-digit spread, low total.
Right. I mean, we see this, come up often. I think, it doesn't give you a lot of room if you're taking a look at Vegas, thinking that you're only going to come up with 40 points here. Marshall here, they're putting up quite a few. They average about 5 more per game here on offense. Than UConn, but geez, UConn 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games here. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Connecticut here and the points. I mean, I think they can score, a couple here on them. So, I mean, if I think Connecticut can score, 10-14, that, puts me at what, a 20 or so for Marshall. So I think I can get UConn to cover this one here today.
All right, so it sounds like you still could be leaning under there. The teams are a combined 17-6-1 to the under. I don't think I'll be on with you here. I know it's going to be a popular handicapper play here today to take these points. I mean, Connecticut, you mentioned their spread success this season and all season, really. And Marshall, we've kind of made, we've talked about them all year because of the Notre Dame game early, but that one comes off looking like a pretty decent game actually when it's all said and done. Marshall averaging more than 113 yards. Marshall averaging 113 yards more than their opponent. Connecticut is minus 85 yards against their opponents this season. That's a pretty large discrepancy, but maybe that is reflected in the line here in this one. So I don't know. I know the totals have been coming in on the under, but I'm probably going to end up with the over in this game. If it's going to be 12.5, and Marshall has been, pretty strong with their offense, with that running game, I think a little bit as well. For me, kind of stands out here. Yes, Matt may grind the clock a little bit, but I don't know, 40.5. Even me being the under player, I guess that I am. I don't know. It just seems like you got LeBourne. He's a good back, and I don't know. The totals were much higher. There's no doubt over the weekend, except for maybe in that Louisville game, right? And that one did stay under too, but I think that was kind of for different reasons. So, but we had, so far like 49s, 56, 57, some high totals. So this one may be just low enough for me to get involved on a free play. I'm going to go over. Mindy's going to be on Connecticut. I'm not sure I can get with Connecticut here because of those yardage discrepancies. I don't think that maybe it'll be a 100-yard. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Again, like you said, it still could fall within that number, and especially if you got it in the 20-14 range. That doesn't sound like a great game, though. I don't know.
Well, we'll find out. And it's during the day, so it gives me something to do while I'm getting ready for Tony's show.
All right. Just want to mention before we get to the next bowl game, a little bit of steam coming in right now on South Dakota in college basketball today. And also just moments ago, more steam coming in South Dakota. today they're taking on Missouri, Kansas City. They're taking money right now. +2's going down to +1. It could be going down to even. This one's moving right now. I'm watching the screen over here. Also want to mention money coming in right now on Maine against Akron. It was 13.5. We're seeing that one on the move as well. Maine is down to 13, maybe even heading to 12.5. So that's a new feature here that I'm going to try to add. Any steam coming in on the show in between the previews, I'm going to try to give it out. So hope you enjoy that. And you'll see if you follow an odd screen, or you can check out the free odd screens as well there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. When I mention these moves, you go to the odd screen, you'll see the game moving right now. And it's kind of a clue that if I mention a game that you're interested in and it's moving against you, yeah, let's get on it now, right? Because it's probably only going to go that other direction.
Well, I'm interested in Maine, that's for sure.
But you're on this show, so unless you're going to be betting while we're with, and I'm sure you can multitask. All right, Mindy, let's talk about nothing like frying up some fries in the air fryer and getting ready for the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Why not?
Potatoes might be one of my favorites of all time. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't care. I'll have potatoes anyway. I need to be, I don't know if you remember, they had the guy that was in charge of, I think it was, most of the school districts there in Idaho. And he always wanted to have potatoes on the menu for lunch. And people were like, no, it's not very healthy. We need something else. So he went on a full potato diet and he lost like 14.5 pounds in a month. So, I mean, I think we should all do it. Potatoes any way that we can.
Boy, is that right? I mean, I just, that's what I thought of, because yesterday I was hungry in the game, during the games, and I didn't want to order anything right away. I mean, yeah, I ordered my pizza for the night game, but in the afternoon I had put some fries in the air fryer, and
there you go.
All right, maybe I'll do that. Hey, we got the plays coming in here. Ron's going to be on San Jose. Mindy, give us your preview. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl on the blue turf.
Oh, the blue turf. At least that's better than like that, I don't know, weird gray turf. I don't know. I think that's
but the Audubon Society doesn't like it because reportedly hundreds of birds die every year when they crash into the blue turf.
Do they really?
No, but I just thought.
All right. Well, I thought we had some really good insight there, so you totally tricked me on that one. I don't know about this one, Ramon. It's kind of tough. I know San Jose, I liked them about 4 games ago. Then they just kind of started tanking. It's suddenly we throw 4 or 5 interceptions in a game and then forget how to play football, it seems. But, Eastern Michigan, they've won 3 games in a row now, average 35 points a game here. Like I said, San Jose State only won 1 out of their last 3 and only putting up 28 points here. Eagles 4-0-1 against the spread the last 5. I'm going to take this Eastern Michigan team here at +4. So we'll see how it goes, Ramon.
Mindy, Eastern Michigan is the best underdog team over the last almost decade at getting the points, believe it or not. Eastern Michigan is an underdog, 35-10-1. Over the last 46 times they've been an underdog, and they were including 5-1 this season. San Jose State, we made fun of them, or I did, right? I mean, all year with that great start, talking about how they were going to go to the BCS because they were so hot.
They were.
But they ended up just 3-6 against the spread as a favorite after all was said and done. So the problem is San Jose State, they can't really run the football. They're kind of a pass only team here. So, Eastern Michigan looks pretty live. How about this? Under Coach Creighton, Eastern Michigan is 0-4 in bowl games. Are you sure you want to take them, Mindy?
No, not totally sure.
Well, let me tell you this. They're 3-1 against the spread in those 4 bowl games.
Maybe
0-4. So let's take them. Let's take them against San Jose State. I like Eastern Michigan here with those points. So we could have had 4.5, but it's ranged from about 3.5 to 4. Ron says Eastern sucks.
I know. He called them, how is it, quote, trash can water? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but San Jose, again, 3-6 against the spread as a favorite doesn't really. I don't think that's anything necessarily to write home about. We make fun of MAC teams in bowl games, but San Jose. This has been an incredible season for San Jose. Eastern Michigan. Well, they've, like I said, they go to bowls. Ron, you know that. I mean, at least they go to bowls.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting.
Can't say my team goes to any bowls, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I think Creighton, Coach Creighton has done an admirable job. And 5-1 against the spread as a dog. That's what it feels like to me, and could be kind of a if it's a junky game, right? If you got a coin flip with poor teams, or teams that really don't have a lot of history. Eastern Michigan's had a little bit of good history and success, and watched them. That basketball game yesterday, I really enjoyed. But me, right? I want to be on the points. So let's get on this one,
Right.
Mindy. Look at that total; it's pretty high. Everybody, check that out. Remember what I said about these totals so far this season. So just interesting there. All right. We're going to next get into the NBA, Mindy, but I want to alert everyone to another steam move coming in right now. And I'm showing that there's movement. And I want to also thank right now, and that's why I think when we start talking about these moves that come in, Ron also may have his odds screen up because he said quickly moving on that last one. So check out this one, Ron, and you can confirm it in the chat with your odds screen. Holy Cross in New Hampshire, definitely moving right now, 129.5 up to 130 or higher. That one is on the move today. Hopefully the games will be a little better when I start to give you the steam a little bit, but today's college schedule is a little bit. Mondays aren't like they used to be.
Underwhelming, you may say.
Yeah, remember it used to be called Big Monday. Now it should be called mid-minor Monday, I think. But Holy Cross and New Hampshire on the move over right now. All right, and Dave says Northern Illinois is his alma mater, and he thinks they all suck. And yeah, I mean, we make fun of these teams in the MAC, but we love our MACtion, don't forget.
That's right.
And San Jose, they're not exactly coming from a power conference. All right, let's get into the NBA here, Mindy. Right now, I'll just move the bowl games aside. And a nice card of NBA games here for a Monday. And start off with the Jazz and the Cavaliers in this one. And let's see if there's been any movement here before we get rolling. These lines that you'll see first pop up on the screen are about 2 hours old. So right now, the Cavaliers are 6.5 and the total 222.
Yeah, and we've already had a lot of action in the chat room this morning about this NBA card. So let's see what we can do here. Team Steam. I'm going to take a look at the under here in this one. It's 9-2-1. The last 12 meetings, under 6-1, and the last 7 versus a team with the winning record here for Utah. Under 9-1. The Cavs last 10 here at home. I'm going to go ahead and take the under, Ramon.
All right. I'm glad that I'm on with Mindy Hahn, one of the hottest cappers in the industry right now. Blake's going to be against us here, but we're going to be going under in this one. Yeah, Cleveland, they've been going under. They've been going under at home this season. They've been a pretty strong under. Jared Allen is back, right, a little bit here. So I like that. Both teams are good against the spread. Utah definitely been a moneymaker. Cleveland a moneymaker as well. That one kind of makes it tough for me a little bit, but Ron says Cavs are going to be a must here for him, laying those 6 points because they are on a roll, especially at home. They're really strong, but like I said, careful. I mean, Utah's been a pretty profitable team as well. And Butterscotch says last in pace of play, even though he had the typo and he corrected it, I knew exactly what he meant there. Ron Hahn says under for sure here. Won't be any coffee bets on this one, but for Mindy and I, hey, I'm going to ride with one of the hottest handicappers over at Tony's Picks. Why wouldn't I? Let's go with Mindy and go under in this one with the Jazz and the Cavs. And, I will mention that talking about Cleveland, pretty good. I think even though these two teams are good spread teams, my early lane's probably get Cavs. But let's play under as our official play here, Mindy, to start it off and get rolling. with Team Steam.
Here we go.
We're on a roll right now. A couple of nice winning days, and not just winning days, pretty strong winning days so far. And also appreciate, I don't know if anybody in the chat, if it's anybody in the chat or if they've been missing the show a little bit, but want to thank the subscribers, Mindy, that here we are. We give out our free plays. Anybody could have rolled with us this weekend with that winning record, but enough people I've noticed in our sales, and we do appreciate when you buy these picks, you get them for free here, but people were subscribing to the picks also. Maybe people don't watch the show that just
Right.
saw that we're hot over there, and it's a credit to you guys, Team Steam. That's why Mindy can afford, if she loses the play to Ron or anybody else who wants to bet Mindy a coffee, that she's good for it. Believe me, she's good for it because she's been hot. So, all right. It looks like Blake's going to switch. Hey, Blake, I don't look, you've been great in the chat, and, your plays are solid. So we don't want to necessarily take you off something, but maybe if everyone else, I know you like everybody in the chat too, so a couple people coming in there, valid point if you want to switch, but don't necessarily get off the game if you feel confident. But we know what you're talking about. We know what you mean right there, Blake. But man, you've come in with so many great plays. Don't be afraid to stick to your guns too. Okay, Mindy, next up, Toronto, they're struggling. Philly, a great home team right now. So what about this one?
Yeah, Raptors 2-8 against the spread here in the last 10. 3-11 on the road against the spread. 76ers opposite. 7-3 against the spread. 11-5 at home. I'll be taking the 76ers minus. Now you put me on minus 7.5.
Yeah, it did go up a little bit, and I think that's what we're going to be faced with as well. But you know what, Mindy? I think I'm willing to get with you on this one too and go 2 for 2. I want to see what the chat has to say here. But Toronto, what's wrong, Toronto, right now? And now they got to go back on the road. So I don't know. That kind of worries me a little bit here because Toronto struggling so bad. Philadelphia 12-4 against the spread at home. These two teams definitely trending under, but the reported steam has come in on the over in this game. It went all the way up to 224, but look where it is now, 220. So this one is dropping rapidly and really dropping to the original number. So there was definitely either a head fake or buyback. Opened as low as 219.5. Definitely all the way up to 224. About an hour ago, dropped to 222. But like I said, that official first widely reported steam came in on the over. So you see Butterscotch coming in here, says Phillies won the last 5 games by an average of 10 points. Toronto, definitely for some reason, they lost those games to the Bulls. The clunker was coming in. Curtis says under here. That's the way I'm looking too. Too bad, I was prepping for the show. I saw that 224. I saw the steam come in, or not the steam, the move come back to the under. Mindy missed out on a ton of value here, but I definitely think Curtis has the right idea in this one. But let's take Philly, Mindy. Hopefully we can get off the air and still get 7.5. Might not go up too much higher, but Philly right now, one of the best home spread teams. And the other thing is, it's not like they're, some home dog or anything. They're laying numbers and covering. So to me, that's a sign where, Philly is definitely a team. We talk about the Celtics. Kind of going to maybe throw out those games because we're going to come up to Orlando next because Orlando's hot. So maybe for the Celtics, they got caught in a situation overlooking a team that, is one of the biggest surprises right now. And let's get into that one. So Dave says, why are the points dropping? And maybe he's thinking that could there be some, maybe he's hinting at some type of injury situation here, Mindy. But right now, all I'm showing is for Toronto, you've got Trent Jr. questionable. OG is questionable for this one. And I don't really have much for Philly. Korkmaz questionable. Maxey is definitely out, and Tobias Harris is probable. So I don't know if any of it is injury related there, but Philly, pretty big favorite in their covering numbers. Okay, here we go. 2 for 2 so far.
Right.
Thank
Let's
you.
get it, Ramon. Let's get it.
Yeah, right, Mindy. We should credit our team Steam too for the great record. Like I said, when you check the handicapper leaderboards over at Tony'sPicks.com and you see Team Steam over there, that's not just Mindy and I. I think that everyone, a lot of times we're kind of feeling out what you guys have to say, and I'm not afraid to pivot as long as I don't already have it as a premium or anything. So, okay, Mindy, here they are. The Orlando Magic. Watch out, Mindy. Orlando, they are all of a sudden kind of a neat play here, maybe to possibly win their division in a way. I mean, it doesn't on the surface, but they're one of the hottest teams in the NBA with a nice winning streak right now. Kind of coincides with the young rookie star coming back to the lineup, and they've looked damn good. Can I say that?
I think you can. I think it's
Can I say
official.
that, Tony?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I run my games here through a couple different models, and I kind of actually had a split on this one. I had one with the Hawks covering, one with the Magic covering. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the total here. Under is 24-8 in the last 32 in Atlanta. 4-0 in the Magic. Last 4 Monday games have gone to the under. Hawks the last 7, they're 5-2 to the under in their home games versus a team with a losing record here. So I'm going to hit the under 230 in this one.
Well, the widely reported steam did come in on the over in this one, and right now I'm showing it at 231. So you're getting even a little bit better number than what's shown there on the screen. Scotch coming in talking about what's going on with this Orlando team, not only covering spreads, just winning the games outright. So it looks like Ron might be taking off.
Yep.
Thank you, Ron. And as always, so appreciate you being here with us and giving us some great information. We always bummed when you have to go. So, okay. Yeah, Mindy. So I don't know. I don't know if I can be on this one with you just because of that steam. I respect that steam that kind of came in to take this one up to 231. Also, you got Atlanta. They are generally an over team, 17-13, including to the over, and 10-6 to the over as a favorite. And at home, they kind of trend that way. So maybe I just can't get with you on this one. And I'm going to take Orlando. I mean, come on. I mean, right now, the way they're going, they're a hot money line play, I would think, as well. I want to be on Orlando in this one. I don't want to go against you necessarily on that total. You've been so hot, and maybe Orlando should be a premium, but I'm going to give it out as a free play here. Just so impressive what they did, right? So they beat the Celtics the first time as a 13-point underdog. And you could say, well, the Celtics overlooked them. We talked about Williams coming back and the impact that he had. But for them to come back, and Jason Tatum was out, so the spread went down to 10.5. But still, they're still double-digit underdogs and beat arguably the best team in the league twice. So I think Orlando is going to totally turn this around, make the playoffs, and and be a contender in their division as well. I don't think this is some fluky winning streak. I'm not saying they're going to go on and be some impact team in the playoffs, but forget about some of the crummy streaks that they've had this season. Orlando, they're also one of the funnest teams to watch, at least right now. Hey, Verley's here with us today. So, yeah, looks like he's suggesting a little money line action there as well. So, and Atlanta certainly has been kind of funky of late. Maybe something's not quite right with Trae Young. Yeah, he's battled some injuries, but he's playing inconsistently for sure. Dallas and Minnesota. In this one, I'm showing Dallas is down to a 3-point favorite against the Wolves. We know the Wolves have had some injury woes, and we know that Luka missed a game. The total here is it's Mavericks 3 and 228.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the under here as well. It's 10-4 in the last 14 here in Minnesota, under 5-1 in the Timberwolves' last 6 after allowing a 125 the game before. I don't know. I'm going to take a look at the under Timberwolves. 15-7 to the under in the last 22 Monday games, and I think today's Monday all day. I'm going to take the under. Wrong.
All right. Well, tell me why I don't like Mondays. That's what the Boomtown Rats sang, but I don't know. We should like Mondays here. So I don't know. For me, Mindy, Dallas is certainly the worst team as a favorite. One of the worst, 7-15-1 against the spread as a favorite. Minnesota just 4-8 against the spread as a dog. Now, Dallas does trend over a little bit, but Minnesota is 13-17 to the under. So you see Scotch coming in, says that Luka here day to day. And yeah, he might have been just taking one game off. He's going to be listed as questionable coming into this one, but you still have, Gobert, he's questionable for tonight. We know that Cat is still out as well. So other injuries for Dallas include Bertans, Hardaway, and they're going to be questionable. So there's certainly a lot of question marks, and maybe a lot of people might lay off this game a little bit just because of the injury situation. I don't know if that factored into your handicap as much as it did just the overall numbers themselves. So I think Minnesota here as a dog. I think Luka's injury is a little bit, I don't want to say serious. He may end up playing here. But man, they're such a bad team as a favorite, and you got to take them with points on the road. I can't do it. I'm going to take Minnesota at home at least here. They've been a crummy underdog, but when they're going up against a crummy favorite, I'd rather take the points at home. Can't be too thrilled about this game myself. So, and obviously no one in the chat is either.
Right. It's pretty quiet.
I was waiting to see if anybody was going to take us aside, and I might have just jumped on with them there just to get some a little bit of consensus, not with you, but with the chat. Trailblazers and the Thunder talk about teams that I don't know. Too bad these two are playing each other because if you're looking for winners, look no further than these two teams. They've been pretty good to us this year. The Blazers going to be favored here. This total this number is down to 7.5. The total has gone up 2 points. The widely reported steam came in quickly on the under, but it's been going back up. In fact, I'm showing it now 227.5.
Yeah, so I mean, I would be part of the widely reported steam. I'm going to go ahead and look at the under. It's 5-1 the last 6 meetings head to head here. And then the under is 23-9 in the last 32 meetings in Oklahoma City as well. Under 5-1 Trailblazers last 6 versus a team with a losing record. And then OKC 6-1 in the last 7 to the under overall. So yeah, I'm going to be a steam player here today. I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, Mindy, with noting that, one of the hottest players in the game, he's going to miss the game, SGA, that's got to be a big factor when you're missing 30 points, from the lineup, right? I mean, I've been talking about SGA for weeks, maybe the most underrated player certainly in the league. I mean, how could anybody give up on this guy and shoo him out of town? And now he's landed in a perfect spot with Oklahoma City. This guy's going to be I think a pretty big star for years to come. So it's too bad he's out right now. And so I think that's reflected in the line. You see Portland, such a significant favorite in this game of 7.5. I mean, with SGA, I would think that the Blazers probably would still be a favorite, but I'd probably be more willing to take Oklahoma City at home if they were getting, say, if he was in the game, it'd probably be maybe 3.5 for Portland, and Oklahoma City would look like a great dog to me there. And this is really tough to lay these kind of points against a great team, a great spread team anyway. But to me, it just feels like if the spread's going to be that high, I think that's reflected the fact that Portland probably is in a pretty good spot here against the Thunder. I'm going to go ahead and lay 7.5 points here with Portland. Like I said, these two teams combined 38 and 22 against the spread. Not to buck what Mindy was saying, I kind of would. You wish SGA was in there. Portland 7-4 to the over is a favorite. Oklahoma City 9-5 to the over at home. Maybe not for me. I won't get involved maybe in the total here. I'll lay these points with Portland, and Scotch has it right on, man. This game is pretty tough to look at, but I don't know. Could always come in with some premiums later. I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here's a good one. The Bucks and the Pelicans. The Bucks are favored by 1 on the road. This total was 229. It's gone down to 228. Is this the game of the day, Mindy?
I don't know, but I would say probably, right? I mean, I like this Pelicans team and the Bucks. Heck, I mean, I think they've been playing better as of late. So yeah, let's say it's going to be a shootout. Let's go over this total. The over is 25-9 the last 34 meetings here. Over also 6-1 the last 7 in New Orleans. Milwaukee, I know they tend to kind of trend a little bit, under. But Pelicans, though, they're 4-0 following an ATS loss to the over. And they're also 17-4 versus a team with a winning record. So, I mean, I think that the Bucks here are going to basically play to their competition. Pelicans have been scoring. Bucks are going to hang right in there with them. I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, you're going to be bucking the widely reported steam that came in on the under. Certainly, maybe it's reflective of Milwaukee's 2-10 to the under so far on the road this season. So, but that's not going to affect Butterscotch. He likes Milwaukee and he likes the over. If Scotch likes Milwaukee, I'm going to like Milwaukee here. They're a terrific favorite. They're not great on the road against the spread. We know that, but here we're not really talking about them as a significant favorite, as just a 1-point spread. So I'm going to go with Butterscotch here, and I'm going to lay 1 point with Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee will look at this as a top game because of the matchup in this one. So I'm going to go with Milwaukee. Mindy's going to take the over in this one. All right, Mindy Emperor asked, do we do college basketball? And we do every day, even on a day like today. You might be disappointed, but I mean, if you're a college basketball fan, you've already looked at the schedule. So maybe that's why you're here, and welcome to Emperor FN. Maybe it's the Emperor Financial Network giving us winning plays. We hope you join us here for the morning steam. We do. We cover basically the major U.S. sports from a point spread perspective. So we appreciate having you here today. We do have college basketball. We picked some close games, just some games. We picked some games.
Well, that's the thing too, is we've told the other folks in the chat, if there's a game that you want to cover, tomorrow, later in the week, whatever, let us know in the chat. We'll make sure that we cover that as well. Otherwise, we pick, basically those that are usually on TV, something that you can bet and watch all at the same time.
Yeah, because in general, maybe our premiums aren't always on TV because we're just looking for the best value. But I think for the most part, we want to watch games and enjoy games, and quite frankly, the better games are on TV. So today notwithstanding, but we certainly
do a lot of ESPN Plus today.
Yeah, we like talking about top teams, top conferences when at all possible. But the great thing about a card like today is it allows us to kind of talk about some of those teams. I know one of our games is going to be Sacred Heart. Mindy, and I've probably watched a little too much Sacred Heart basketball this year, but I'll probably watch.
You'll be our consensus expert on Sacred Heart. That's awesome.
But hey, I've been wrong before. Don't be wrong anymore. Sacred Heart. You see what I did there?
I did. Yes.
Spurs and Rocket. I don't even know if I got the lyrics right, but I'm an old Journey fan. Okay, Spurs and Rockets here, Mindy, in this one, and the Rockets are down to a 3.5 point favorite, and the total is up a little bit here to 227, but that's just on the screen because this one opened as high as 231.
Oh goodness, Spurs and Rockets here. Spurs 3-7 against the spread. Houston 4-5 and 1 in their last 10 against the spread. Spurs 5-7 on the road against the spread, and the Rockets 6-4-1 against the spread at home. So not a whole lot of really breakouts there, either way. But the Spurs, though, they're 8-3-1 the last 12 against the spread. Spurs 3-1-1 against the spread the last 5 in Houston here as well. And then if I take a look, the Rockets 1-4 against the spread versus a team with a losing record. So I guess I got to be here on the Spurs today, Ramon. I feel like I've been on the Spurs a lot. And, they've done me okay here so far this season.
Yeah, but, well, this kind of falls in line with some of the college games, right? This isn't the best game today necessarily, it looks like to me. So I don't know where this one's going to go necessarily, but I know I'm going to probably just end up on the over here for a free play. I mean, can I really get a premium out of this? I mean, I don't discriminate against which teams I put in the premium. Hey, Mill Jr. is here. I think we've had Mill here maybe before commenting with us, but I thank you. Good to see you here. He likes the Spurs in this one with you, Mindy, plus the points. Houston 7-4-2 against the spread at home, though. That's not too shabby, but a whopping 0-1 against the spread as a favorite. This will be the second time this season that the Rockets are favored in a game. They are 6-7 straight up at home. They've been actually kind of a pleasant surprise. Scotch says San Antonio's failed 7 of their last 10, and I don't know. I might kind of agree with Scotch more, but I don't know if I can give it out necessarily in a game that Spurs did show some signs of life, but I'm going to go over in this one, Mindy. I just felt like the original number, that 231 to me, San Antonio gets involved in some real crazy games sometimes. And why not here against the Rockets? These teams don't have any defensive aspirations here in this one. I'll go over as my free play, over 227. Mindy's going to be on the Spurs. That one might not make your 5 TVs, Mindy, I'm thinking.
Right.
All right, Lakers and the Suns. The Suns are up to a 9.5 point favorite. We already made fun of the Lakers again in the opening with their you can say choke job because they didn't get the number. They still won the game, and that's all that's important to those guys. So this total, though, right now is up to 231, despite the fact that the widely reported steam initially came in on the under.
Yeah, I'm still gonna head to the under, though. I think, even though the Lakers, went to the over by 1 last night with the Wizards. Unders 8-2-1 the last 11 meetings here between these two. Under 5-1-1 the last 7 head to head as well. Under 8-2 the Lakers last 11 versus a team with a winning record. And then look at the Suns. They're 5-1 in the last 6 versus a team with a losing record. So yeah, I'm going to try the under 231 here today.
Let's make it a 3-pack of games at least here in this one
right.
for us, Mindy. I like the under as well. The Suns, they can play controlled basketball, I feel like, and I definitely feel like when LeBron is in there and AD is in there, now he's out, we know that. But when LeBron's in there, he slows it up. Come on. He wants to envision himself as that controlling guy when he's there with the ball. That's the way I feel. And I think that's why they kind of end up with, playing at the pace they do. Look, Davis is out. Booker is questionable. That's more point. But, it's a groin injury. I mean, is there any, chance that Booker misses this game? He doesn't. He's a durable player. That's the thing about Booker. He will play, sometimes through injury. So when he ends up on that injury list, I think it's significant that the fact that he's on the list and missed time. I think that's a big deal. DeAndre Ayton the same way. Now he's missed a couple of games certainly this year, but he's questionable as well. And he's, you know, maybe he's a bit of a defensive presence, but he's still also like a 17 point a game scorer. So you could be missing, you know, David and the Lakers. Who are the Lakers when they have to find players, right, Mindy, to to
Fill in.
where are they right? Where are they going to right? Where are they going to get points to replace 27 points from Davis, right? Phoenix, they have at least a little bit more replacement value, but if Booker and Ayton, that's 45 points right there as well. Let's go under in this one, Mindy, with the Lakers and the Suns. I think that might be the way to go at this point with this big total. The steam has come in on the under. I feel like, and now we're getting a little bit of value here with this number at 231. So we're on the under here in this one. Scotch is coming in with those injuries as well. So, yeah, like I said, if Booker's on that injury list, I mean, people kind of been getting on Booker actually a little. Come on, I mean, he's big time. All right, Mindy, want to just interrupt a little bit? Everybody check your odds screens or leave it to me, but I'm showing some movement right now on a college game. This is going to be on St. Bonaventure and Siena. You'll see this one moving right now. This one has been moving from, and we're going to cover this game, Mindy, in fact, on the previews, but just want everyone to know right now, this game is on the move, moving under 133, now maybe even 132 and a half or lower. St. Bonaventure Siena is moving right now to the under with some widely reported steam. All right, one more game here in the NBA. Let's go out to Charlotte and Sacramento in this one. And I'm showing the Kings are up to a double-digit favorite now. They're favored by 10, and the total is up to 240. The widely reported steam came in on the under initially, but I'm showing 240 and a half now. Hornets and Kings expected to be one of those games.
Interesting. Yeah. Hornets 8-6 on the road, Kings 8-4 here at home. So, should be a good one. Or Hornets 5-2 against the spread the last 7 in Sacramento. Also 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 meetings here. Kings 1-4 in the last 5 games, played on 2 days rest. I guess this team just comes out a little bit rusty. I'll be taking the Hornets here today.
All right, Mindy's on the Hornets, and man, the Hornets. I was talking yesterday or the day before. I don't know if Alvin is talking about this game. Good to see Alvin in the chat. I don't know if he's talking about this game, but maybe he likes the under because of the high total there. But gosh, I don't know. Listen to Coach Clifford and those comments that I talked about. I think Emperor, he might also be talking about under in this game as a lock, but the Hornets did not play any defense at all. And Sacramento back at home here, the Butterscotch is coming in, says
right.
Sacramento reporting no injuries. Sacramento, Mindy, do you know who
Tony always talks about Sacramento not having any injuries.
Yeah, I was going to joke with you, but you watched. Yeah, he does it on our show. But
I'm on the show, Ramon.
I love when he said that. He goes, the most valuable player is the Sacramento training staff.
Right.
They've got no injuries. And, credit to their organization, right? I mean, they were in the doldrums. I mean, Vlade kind of drove them into the ground. And there were some other issues, too, with Vivek's ownership and all that. And, look, I go back. When the Maloof brothers, I just tell a quick story. I know you love these stories. When I was managing a sports bar, they were in town in San Diego, and they brought the whole crew to watch one of their games on the old big satellite dishes back in the day when you had to get the games there. And they brought, what was the girlfriend's name of one of the Tara Reid came there, and they were watching the game. So I always, kind of liked the Kings a little bit, except when they did the number on the Lakers in that big series that everybody remembers. Alvin did say he likes this game to go under there, so interesting to note. And initially, I see the number and I'm like, yeah, this one, I keep struggling with these over. I've probably given away like almost all my profits from the postseason last year on the website because of taking too many of these big overs. But this one looks like another. The Kings might win this game. I'm telling you, it might be 140 to 120 in this game. It feels like to me. So, but can Charlotte even score that many points? They're so wishy-washy in a way. He says, take a look at Charlotte second half, and maybe he's saying the Kings blow games late there. I don't. Thurman might be talking about the Kings tough, meaning they're tough, or it's a tough game. I'm not sure. So, but anyway, Mindy,
And he
you're on
likes
the
the Kings.
Hornets. But for
Mindy
me,
on island on her own with the Hornets. Everyone
well,
else likes the
I'm tired
Kings.
of giving out, and I'm tired of losing all my profits in the NBA to betting totals over, where I probably, I was up 2,200 units with Tony with Tony's site because of smashing the NBA playoffs, and I've given probably 1,500 units away by betting bad overs. So I'll give this one out as a free play. I think the Kings are going to put up a monster number here tonight. Maybe the Hornets will stay with them. Maybe it'll be 130 to 122, and the Hornets will stay in the game. But it just feels like what was that game the other night? 150 to who scored 150 the other night? Oh, all right. That's a look at the NBA. Great job from the chat today for sure. Bringing the heat, Mindy also. And Mindy, I just want to bring to you right now before we get into college. I've got another mover right now, the steam coming in. This one is going to be in the National Hockey League. I'm showing the Red Wings currently on the move. They were at plus 165 today against the Capitals, and they're look like they're moving to $1.60 or lower. So steam coming in on an underdog right now on the odds screen, lighting up so far. Also, one other game right now moving in the college ranks. This one is going to be on the main board, and this one's North Dakota and St. Thomas. The total is moving to the under. Right now, they steamed it at 143. It's going to 142.5 or even lower. Steam coming in right now, reported here on the Morning Steam. My new feature. Well, the only reason I've started to add it is because I'm starting to be able to manage our show a little bit, and I can
A little bit better. Getting the hang of it.
Yeah, well, I've been giving it as kind of early steam, and then not during the show because I think I was having, but getting a little better at managing the comments. That's the toughest part because we've got, what it is, but we've got so many people coming in our chat. It's just been awesome so far. So yeah, there it is. Emperor, appreciate you here as part of our show. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm looking for when I can't remember my old brain here. And Minnesota scored 150 last night in that game against the Bulls, right? Where the Bulls are having some issues certainly right now. D'Angelo Russell was announced in that game, and we saw the total get steamed up from 230 to 235, and that was never in question. We went with the under mini, but that was because we were kind of looking at the injury situation in itself. Scotch,
Right.
we should just Butterscotch should just change his handle to fade the Bulls. I
Moniker,
think
yeah, right.
is what we should do. So. We might have got that one wrong on the show, but I think we might have learned our lesson there on that. Okay, here comes the college ball, and maybe we'll get some great comments from. I don't know, Emperor, if you're because you've asked, maybe you are probably new to our show, but we give these plays out, so hopefully you got some information for us. Ricky, awesome comments. Thank you so much. And we're here first on YouTube. That's what I like to be. That's why the show started so early. Dave says LaMelo is back, and the dude is unreal. And I can remember going back and watching those Chino Hills games on on the computer with Lonzo and LaMelo and their other brother, and they were fun to watch. That was like watching those Loyola Marymount teams at a college level at Chino Hills. All right, we're going to get into this college card here. Mindy Kenny Bye joining us, Mindy, for the first time, it looks
I
like.
know, it's nice. We had lots of newbies today. Awesome. Thanks so
Awesome.
much.
Hopefully you've been with us before and just finally stopped in to say hello, but appreciate you being here. All right, Mindy, we did what we could coming up with these games today. And yeah, most of them will be on ESPN Plus. I love about ESPN Plus is, the one game ends, you just slide your cursor or your
Yep,
fire
right
stick
to the
button,
next
and here
one.
comes the next one. You can just keep going through, and you can just go through the latest games, right? You look at the score, which one's close, just go right to that game. It's very simple, very easy. So what do you got here on this one? Put you on the spot. We just mentioned, that steam that came in. So just to report that again before you get started and also give you the latest line and before we get your preview on that, Mindy. But there also was early reported steam on Siena, which took them from a pick. But since then, it's gone back the other way. I'm showing right now St. Bonaventure, a 2-point favorite, total 131.5. You see what that steam has done to the under, however.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit, lack of defense, between the two here, perhaps. But, so I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see how this one's going to play out defensively, because then they also score a ton of points. And then, I have this bias with the Siena team because for whatever reason, I've lost with them like every time this year. So there's no way I'm going to on Siena today. I'm going with St. Bonaventure here. Siena, they are scoring 71 points a game. Bonaventure, 68. But again, Siena, they're allowing 73 points a game here. And that's usually what gets them in trouble with their defense. I'm taking the Bonnies today, -2.
All right. You heard it from one of the hottest handicappers on all the multi-capper sites. And I know because I kind of check everybody out. I want to see how everybody's doing. But Bonaventure, Mindy, did you
Yes,
say?
I'm on Bonaventure.
Yep. Mindy's on the Bonnies, and they're a 2-point favorite. And you see the exciting comment there that Kenny, thank you so
Yeah,
much
thanks, Kenny. I
for
appreciate it.
subscribing to Mindy. And maybe, I don't know, the word is out maybe here. But Emperor says he likes Siena when they play at home. Scotch is liking Siena. You guys are going to fade. Red hot Mindy Hahn. And Kenny says she's so good with the picks that he often takes her picks. So that's another thing that we see, Kenny, that you have been watching the show and finally got a chance to come in and say hello. So I think that's awesome. It's great to have you here. Even if you don't have time to chat with us, we'll know that you're out there watching. So, yeah, I don't know. For me, Mindy, that's a pretty significant move, I think, to Bonaventure there, up to a favorite now. I think that might be indicative. I'm not saying that you've changed the opinion of the line of teasing you a little bit about that, but I think maybe the betting public is also kind of see. Scotch might want to come in, Mindy, another little.
Jason, are we going in on a Starbucks game? Are we doing it?
We
Are we
have
having
our
a
first
challenge?
Starbucks play here.
Our
I don't
Starbucks
know.
challenge every day?
I don't know, Mindy. I know
Yep.
you. We have to say the name of the company because
Oh.
because if you guys got to know which shop Mindy goes to if you're going to bet the coffee.
Yeah, I mean, you have to send me either money on Cash App, or you're gonna have to send me a Starbucks gift card via the app.
Right. But I'm worried that we don't have a spot. Maybe if we could get if your local Starbucks if you keep going in there, can you show them your show and say, hey, we have the Starbucks challenge?
Right.
Maybe we could work on getting a sponsor here.
I'm sure they would pick us up, Ramon. I'm sure of it.
I mean, if we're going to be mentioning now, they don't need us. I mean, they're Starbucks, but maybe we could the Starbucks challenge. Anybody can share the video and get Starbucks in to sponsor the show. I'd be really in favor of that.
Right.
But more so, I think bettors might be kind of seeing what you are. Like I said, the early steam definitely came in on Siena here, but I don't know if I necessarily see it that way either in this one. So for me, I kind of respect that move that Steam moved to the under, and that's the way I'm going to look. I'm going to go under in this one. I don't know, man. I was kind of agreeing with what they were saying about Sienna kind of in the chat. So I better just stick to what I was going to go with on the show no matter what and go with the under here, despite the fact that I've missed out on the price a little bit. I mean, Sienna has just been such a solid over team so far this year. They're only 5-5 straight up. So Kenny says both. I think he's saying both the teams are excellent, and he's watching here. And let's.
Or maybe he means both of us are excellent.
Oh, thank you.
I think that has to be it.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, I mean that's the difference here. We're giving actionable information compared to like the morning talking heads on the networks, right? So, and let's just interrupt a little bit with Thurman coming in with his action here. I think on the day, Mindy, and
Right.
Starbucks CEO taking Mindy's pick. So Thurman, Sixers, Kings, Bucks, T-Wolves under, Cavs under, Packers over. I hope I read those teams right. It looks like maybe the missing the divider in there. So just want to give out also one more play coming in, Mindy, in the Steam, and this will be in hockey later. But right now, a game kind of on the move is going to be St. Louis and Vancouver to go under tonight. I'm showing Steam right now at 6.5, and could be moving lower if you're interested in the under. You might be getting on St. Louis and Vancouver under right now. The Steam is definitely coming in on the screen. Currently, I'm showing right now that the game has moved to 6 in a lot of locations. I'm talking about major Las Vegas books, major online books. Those 6.5s have been wiped from the boards. Only a couple of offshore outfits and maybe a couple of Vegas outfits hanging on to 6.5. This one could be going just 6.5 under, moving to 6 over right now. All right, we're going to continue on with our college. I'm giving out the under, and Mindy is on Bonaventure there. So,
yeah, and you must have turned your updates all the way down because we can't hear your Steam plays come across like usual.
Well, no, right. I mean, I thought it was kind of that's the thing. I thought about why having it on there, but again, it's kind of a I'm using an odd screen, a copyrighted product, and I don't know. It sounds cool, but so I thought maybe if I kept the odd screen on over here, and when the Steam comes up, I want to add it in. I want to give everyone, the morning Steam, right? That's what we're about. Yes, our plays, our late plays, our Steam plays, and all that, but everyone knows when the odd screen turns black and the action's coming in, and so much of it happens during our show. And the thing was, I wasn't reporting on it, and I was kind of regretting it. Like after the show was over, and I'm like, wow, look at all these games that moved. I wish I could have, told everyone about these games. Not that they're necessarily even our plays or anything, but the fact that I want people to make sure they're getting the best lines on their games as well. So I don't want anybody to miss out on any plays or lines. And we all hate it, right, when we go to play those games and we don't get the best line. So, all right. And great. Thank you.
There we go. Yeah. So this is Ramon Scott, one of the best market handicappers you can find in the country. He said he forgot your name.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks, Kenny. Oh, well, we could, how about this right here? We could just pop us up right there. And you can follow us on Twitter. Get more free plays from Mindy every day at Tony's Picks Mindy. And I'm at Tony's Picks Ramon also. But you can follow me on Ramon Scott Media and get a lot of, other stuff. Not a lot of politics, but other plays, sports information, things like that on my Twitter. All right. Hofstra and South Florida here. I'm showing right now that in this game, South Florida is a 1.5 point favorite, and this total is 136.5.
Yeah, Hofstra on a little bit of a bad losing streak here, lost the last 3. while giving up almost 80. Yikes. South Florida, they won 3 in a row now and only allow, 61. South Florida, geez, they're just a ton better at rebounding here. They rank 187th in the nation compared to that Hofstra team, 351. I'm going to take South Florida here. I think they can go ahead and win and cover.
All right, Mindy's going to take South Florida here against Hofstra. Good to see Rapper Capper joining us as well in the chat talking about that Raiders game there. So awesome to have you as always, Rapper Capper. Mindy's going to be on South Florida here, laying the 1.5 points. Seems like it'll be a pretty popular play, I would think, with Cappers today. And I think I'm going to agree with you here, Mindy. I'm willing to take a premium consensus with you here on this one with South Florida in this matchup against Hofstra. I don't know. I think the line has moved slightly from 1 to 1.5. I don't. That's not necessarily weighing too much into my decision here to play this game. But South Florida's on a 3-game winning streak right now. They did cover 2 of the 3. Yeah, they didn't cover against Dartmouth. I get that. But Hofstra 2-4 against the spread at home. USF has covered 6 of their last 10 games. They're just 6-5 against the spread. Nothing too special here necessarily, but I'm going to agree with you here, Minnie. Let's get our first consensus play.
Let's do it.
Ball. Take South Florida at home against Hofstra and lay the 1.5. All right, we got a premium consensus play. Dave says USF should be favored, and he'll roll with it. All right, that makes me, I think, feel good on that one. Hofstra's on a 3-game losing streak, losing to UMass and Purdue. I mean, that's no biggie there, and they also lost to Mason. So, all right, Rapper Capper, thanks a lot, man. Right.
Well, all we had today, no namers. That was it.
Well, it's coming up to my favorite team right now, Sacred Heart, or I don't know if it is. I've been on them, I've been off them, but just seems like when I'm watching ESPN Plus, Sacred Heart's on. For some reason, they find their way to my TV. This one's on the added board, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. So right now I'm showing currently that it is St. Joe's favored by 9. The total's gone up to 152.5 on some widely reported steam that we did mention. I think we mentioned it already.
Right. But I think, Ramon, we're, if you're ready, I think we should go in on, Sacred Heart today. They are the better shooting team here in this one. They shoot about 41%. Not great, but you also take a look at the St. Joseph's team. They tend to be a little bit wild. Don't really control the ball well. Some turnovers. We know those turnovers will lead to these Sacred Heart points here today. St. Joseph only puts up 69 a game. On the other hand, Sacred Heart, they're putting up about 72. I think Sacred Heart can stay in here this one today. I'll take them +9.
Yeah, that in fact, it kind of was my original thought was to go with Sacred Heart, but man, St. Joe's, they're kind of favored for a reason, I would think here at this pretty big price, and that's what kind of worries me, the fact that they are almost a double-digit favorite here against Sacred Heart. I mean, Sacred Heart, they've lost 4 straight. I watched that Stony Brook game. Pitt, they've lost to Pitt, they lost to Fairfield, they lost to Massachusetts Lowell, and St. Joe's hasn't been anything special. They did win and cover against St. Peter's, so but at least St. Joe's has won some games at home. They're 3-2. Sacred Heart, man, they've been getting the money. Wow, they've been getting the money. It almost makes me want to consider it with you there, but I'm going to respect this steam here, and I think it's going to end up going over. That's what I'm going to end up taking for the show purposes here, is going over 152. Yeah, Sacred Heart has been a bit of an under team so far, but I'm going to respect the steam here. I'm going to take over in this one. Scotch is coming in with Sacred Heart, says 9 points is too many. Thank you, Rapper Capper, for giving us the smash and like information there. So he, he's quite the character. I think Rapper Capper. Did he say he has a YouTube channel? Because I want to
I
watch
think
him.
so.
I want to watch him rhyme some picks. I think that I don't think there's a rapping capper out there other than Rapper Capper, and I think that's a niche that he could actually own for himself and go on and do videos. I don't know, Tony. Hey, Tony, what about having a guy come on and do videos with us rapping his picks? That might be fun. All
Funny.
right, we're on a couple of plays there, Mindy. You almost sold me on Sacred Heart, but I don't know. A little bit of reverse line movement here. It seems like Sacred Heart's going to be a pretty popular play, and St. Joseph's still hanging on to that 9-point spread. I'm going to have to do some further investigating there.
Okay.
Okay, Charleston's going up against Coastal here. This will be the last game that we'll look at. Nice for in our comments, for Emperor to say, some of these teams you just don't know. And hey, that's what we do. Other than watching ESPN Plus all day, that's what allows us to get into some of these. Okay, I'll check that out. I'm going to write that down right now. T-Money picks. I want to see their Rapper Capper, but. Okay, Mindy, Charleston going up against Coastal here. Charleston, oh boy. Charleston, let me make sure about this, Mindy, because I'm showing now Charleston is up to a 9-point favorite. They did take the widely reported steam. I just want to make sure that original number, this thing opened as low as 6, and now it's up to 8.5, 9-point favorite. A big move here on Charleston against Coastal, and the total is 151. And we did talk about widely reported.
Charleston right now is -9. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, no, up
Can
to
I go?
9.
I need to look. I need to look to see how that changes things for me again here. So what time that game? 6:30 my time here. So we'll just kind of chat for a second because
no problem.
that's like a
go ahead.
huge move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead and work on your numbers there a little bit. I'll
Okay.
just talk about this real quick. So Charleston
I
opened.
found it already here
Okay, Charleston
because I
opened.
want to change my pick.
No problem. Well, yeah, the people, when we talk about changing pick, like one way or the other, when you're talking about a significant move like this, and people say, oh, how could you switch on just a 2.5 point? The margins in a point spread game are huge, right? And so when you see a move like this, I don't think it's something to be uncommon that you could end up on the other side. And same here with the total. Look, this one opened, as low as, let me see here, 146, and now I'm showing as high as 151 on some widely reported steam to the other. So we've had some big move on this game. Right now, Charleston is 9, total 151.
Well, that's the thing, right? So, if I have this right at coming in at a 6 or 7, that makes a big difference now that I'm getting Coastal at a 9. So that puts me now on Coastal when I was on Charleston at 6.5 before. So today, because of this morning's steam, I am going to be changing my pick from Charleston, who has won 10 in a row now. So their only loss was to then number 1 North Carolina. But again, Charleston, they're only allowing this, 61 points a game here defensively. But again, I only have them winning this here, by like 5 or 6. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Coastal.
All right, Mindy's going to be on Coastal here, plus the 9 points now. No problem there. And Dave Z's here. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, and I would almost put this I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Nice to have Dave Z here. Look, public is coming in. Almost 90% of the action so far has been on the over in this game, driving this total way up as well. So definitely some interesting, notes here on this movement. It looks to be public action. I'm not showing any, necessarily any injuries in this game. Maybe the early number that was just sent out was bad, or whatever, but pretty significant move to the over. And I had, once that steam came in, Mindy, at 146 and a half, and when I was prepping for the show, I had already made it a point that I wanted the over in this game. And maybe it was one of those where I was going to look to take the over, maybe it would have even been a premium at that point.
Right.
I'm going to give out the over still in this game at 151. I mean, I have this game in the mid 150s, and maybe it'll still end up there, and I'm not getting the best price at all, but
Yeah.
I'll take
I
over.
think it kind of is tough. It put you in a tough spot right there.
Yeah, but on the show here, you look at some of the numbers. Scott says it perfectly. All across the board, you look at Ken Palm, the green's on well, I shouldn't say the green, but there's more red, right, guys? If any Ken Palmers out there, there's more red on the Charleston side than there is on the coastal side in this game, right? If I'm not mistaken, I just really have it in my. Is that the way? Yeah, I had it in notes.
I mean, they're the better, shooting percentages pretty much across the board.
Yeah,
defensively as well.
And Coastal, I didn't note it in my notes, but number one in the country in free throw shooting, number one in the country. So that says a lot right there too. So they do not shoot it well from 3-point range at all. But
they're what, 81.48%.
Yeah,
pretty good.
So maybe that's it. But Charleston again, they've got most of the green there, and Coastal poor defensively, in the mid 300s there, just to 30 from the bottom really, and 3-point defense, and also effective field goal percentage 300th in the country. So definitely some weaknesses there with Coastal's defense. So I get it. I'll take the over here. Charleston and Coastal. Mindy's going to be on Coastal. So, all right, let's look at college basketball. Somehow we just spent 15 minutes on 4 games.
This should be a close one. I mean, it looks like a really good game, so I'm excited.
Well, again, I think for hardcore bettors that want to, like you say, when you're watching the action, they want to get something, and they're like, these games are crummy. What are we going to do? And so maybe it was appropriate to cover those games a little bit more in depth that we did. So, all right, got a 8-game hockey card here. Looks like no Latifa today, but we'll definitely have some comments here for sure on this card. We've already given you some of the widely reported steam that came in. Also want to mention before we get into any more here, Mindy, I do have more hockey steam coming in here that just came in about 3 minutes ago, and you'll see lighting up the odds screen currently. Not on this game, but it is on Montreal and Arizona. Take a look, everybody. One major U.S. book has already moved to 5.5 over 20. So this one is definitely moving lower. It's Montreal and Arizona. The steam is coming in right now on the under in Montreal and Arizona. Odds screens lighting up right now, and looks like 2/3 of the public as well coming in on the under in that game. So under in Montreal.
Now we get the Montreal Canadiens. It went from 6.5 to 5.5.
No, I don't know. Did you have? Yeah, definitely. The openers were 6.5 under 20.
Yeah.
And right now I'm showing, probably what I would call the major U.S. online book is currently at 5.5 over 20.
Wow.
I'm not going to say what the name is, but the initials are like Dark Knight. If anybody knows what I'm saying with that sports book, the major U.S. online book has moved to 5.5 over 20. So let's start with this one though, Mindy, with the Panthers and the Bruins here. And in this one, Bruins, obviously, what can you say? I mean, even with the Panthers playing pretty decent, the Bruins are at home. They haven't lost yet, right? So Bruins are $1.95 now. Total 6.5 under 15.
Yeah, I mean the home team's 5-0 in the last 5 meetings here in this one. Bruins 14-6 against them. Gonna have to stick with the Bruins again here. Opened what minus like about 165 now up to minus 190. I'll
Ugh.
still stick with them.
Oh man, gosh. All right, we'll lay a $2 favorite. I mean, we're lost out on 30 cents of value here, but what can you say, Mindy? I mean, they haven't lost at home yet. I mean, when are they going to lose, right? The Bruins are just outstanding overall. We talked about all these teams in the East and all the success and everything, but what can you say? The Bruins just continue to smash with that undefeated home record so far. And like I said, Florida's played a little bit better, and it's not necessarily in our nature to want to lay on the service.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem with the puck line. Sounds like you want to stick with the money line. And if you're okay with risking $2 on to make $1, I'll do it with you. I was willing. Reported steam came in on the Bruins. I think that's why you see the 30-cent move here. Scotch already says get them while you can. I think we've already missed the boat to a certain extent. But I don't know, 16-0. Why aren't they $3? I know Florida's played a little bit better, so I don't know what you had the price necessarily in your numbers, Mindy, or if you're privy to even giving that information out, but I'll side with you here. I'll go to the well one more time and lay $2. Orlando says you can lessen the price, go in regulation. Nice to see you today, Orlando. And I agree with that. It's not an option for us at Tony's Picks, where we're only allowed to pick money lines, puck lines, and totals. So
I have Panthers on the puck line, so that's why I'd like to stay with the Bruins on the money line.
Panthers on the money line as a price, or you think that the Bruins are only good for a 1-goal victory day?
Correct. I think the Bruins are good for a 1-point victory, but I would rather have them at the minus, at the time it was minus 170 for the Bruins when I did my work. In the Panthers at plus 1.5 were also, at the 172. So they were about the same. So if I had my choice, I would take the Bruins over the Panthers puck line.
Okay, well, fair enough. I mean, Florida's only been a puck line dog 5 times this year, so I don't know if they're 2-3 as a puck line dog. Bruins, for their undefeated record, they're still just 11-7 on the puck line at home. I think they might have been favored every time. I'm not sure at this point. I don't have that in front of me, but 14-8 as a puck line favorite. So I mean, they've obviously been, a puck line dog a few times on the road against some probably good teams, but we'll go ahead and lay $2 here with the Bruins as a premium pick. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
They should win, right? I mean, they haven't lost yet. They haven't lost yet. I mean, there's always a first, but is it going to be the Panthers that do it? I'm not sure.
No.
Stars and Jackets. Stars here are up to 225 now. Total 6.5 under 20. I think you can find some under 15s out there, but I think generally at the square books you're looking at under minus 120 with the Stars and the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, I mean, Stars have had their last 4 of 5 be within one goal or less. So they also lost their last game 4-5 to the Hurricanes. Blue Jackets 5-1 versus Stars off a loss in the last 6 games here. I want to take the Blue Jackets on the puck line today. About 1.5 goals minus 135.
All right, Mindy's going to be on Columbus against Dallas. Dallas definitely pretty hot, Mindy. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
And, but again, here you are. Here they are laying $2 on the road. I think that's what makes it kind of difficult. I mean, they look good. Maybe even at 225 for me, they look good. I don't want to do that to anybody necessarily in the chat. And maybe they can't get the puck line here. I'm not necessarily sure about that. But I think for me, the fact that I see a 6.5 out there, I just came in with a winner on the over with Dallas here. And You're getting a little bit of maybe, but looks like Scotchy's not willing to get into it with you for a little coffee, but he's going to go
Right.
against you here. But I think I'm going to be with Orlando in this one, with Ottinger in net. I'm going to go on the under in this one, Mindy. I just scored with Dallas. Look, that's the funny thing about Dallas. They definitely can put the puck in the net, but they are getting good goaltending as well. That's why we're kind of seeing the success right now from Dallas at this point, and why they are looking so good. You've got to put them in with the contenders, I would think, in the West right now because of the way they've got good goaltending. They finally got the scoring they haven't maybe had in the last couple of years. So Dallas is I don't know if they're under the radar anymore. They're hot again. They're 18-8 overall, and Columbus certainly subpar.
You're going to get noticed at minus 225.
Yeah, a little bit high for sure. I'm going to go under in this game just to give out a good solid play here. Mindy will take Columbus on the puck line. Red Wings and Caps here. We already talked about the steam that came in on the Red Wings here in this one. So maybe I'll ask you what gives here, because obviously we know the Red Wings they're improved, but they're still a big underdog here on the road to the Caps, and we're still on OV watch, I think, right, for another milestone goal. Capitals here 175, 6/15. So again, that's where we've seen that buyback today on the Red Wings.
But the Red Wings are only scoring about 1.33 goals a game over, like the last 4. So I mean, I like the Capitals here a lot today. They're 14-3 versus the Red Wings here too. They're also 6-1 their last 7 overall. I mean, I like the Capitals here at minus 1.5 goals, about 130. So I'll take the Capitals on the puck line.
On the puck line, she says she's going to take the Capitals here and fade that steam with Detroit. And so I'm giving out the total here is about 6/15. And, I did report that steam came in on the under. It's not unanimous. There are still plenty of books holding on to that 6/15 number here, if I'm not mistaken. And in fact, showing a little bit, but I saw some 5.5s out there at one point. So I think for me, that's the way I'm going to look. I'm going to look to go under in this game. You talk about Detroit, being pretty bad. I see the comments in the chat. Detroit has not looked good of late. I think it's going to be. Do I have Husso and Lindgren listed there? Yeah. And that'll be my free play. I'm going to go under the 6 in Detroit and Washington. I don't think it's going to dip since it's juiced to the over. Might have just incorrectly reported there about that steam. So let me just make sure of that. I don't want to be wrong on that move. Maybe it was just on Detroit. Yeah, no official widely reported steam on that total. So I'm going to go under in this one. My model also has plenty of 5.5s. So Mindy's going to be on Capitals on the puck line minus a 1.5. I'm going to be on under 6 goals in this game. Yep. All right, Mindy, before we move to the next game, I just want to give out a move coming in college basketball. More steam being reported right now. This one comes to us in a game. This one just I'm a little late on this one. We've been talking about the hockey. This move's about 7 minutes old, but UT Arlington and San Francisco moving under right now. They hit it at 137.5, and right now I'm showing that this game is down to as much as 136.5, 135.5 at major Las Vegas books. UT Arlington, San Francisco is on the move, going under at this time. The steam is rolling in on that game.
Another one I'm interested in, Ramon.
That's why we're doing it. I mean, that's going to be one of the features of our show. I'm going to just try to be a little more prompt in giving out the live information here. And I know that we're going to get a lot of positive feedback on it. I've been trying to find a way to work it into the show, especially since we're making the videos and everything. But we'll just take down the panel. We'll take down the panel, and I'll report it. Even if we miss it there a little bit, I think we can get it in there.
Yeah,
So,
that should be
in
okay.
fact, can I give you another one before we
Yeah,
move
of
on?
course.
Because I've got a live one that just came in right
A
now.
live one.
This one is happening right as we speak. This one is Hofstra in South Florida, game that we just talked about, Mindy, that we took South Florida in. But the total is moving rapidly on the under here. Open coming in at they're taking 136.5. I'm showing now one as low as 134 at a major Las Vegas sports book right now. 134.5, but certainly at least a 1.5 move. Hofstra, South Florida, under as we speak. This one is on the move lower.
All right.
All right, continuing on with our NHL now. In this one, we've got the Oilers and the Preds, and the Oilers here are minus $1.30 or so. Total 6.5 over 20.
All right. So what do I got here in this one, Ramon? Oh, it looks
That's why
like
I'm here.
yeah, it looks like I got the Predators here. No, this can't be right. One moment.
Oh, no problem.
Here we go. It's right here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Oilers on the money line. They've given up, 4 goals a game, I know, here over their last 2. But again, when they've lost, it's only been by, just a tad bit. Oilers are ranked 24th in goals against here this season. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Oilers here today. Because I did kind of like the Predators on the puck line, but that's at like minus 220, so I'm not going to do that one.
All right, well, decent price here, I would think. Certainly, some of my model did give out a 7 here, but for me, I kind of like this one to go under tonight with Edmonton and Nashville. For me, I almost want to throw the model, want to kind of cut off. You know how you sometimes you got to cut off the high and cut off the low. Especially with the moving averages, like you said. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate the comments there about that. And that's what I want to do. And again, we're just not making it up. I'm not just saying it. I mean, watching the odds screen right there, the thing comes up. It's not going to give me that audio alert. That's why I kind of miss one now and then, but pops right up on the screen. And not everyone, pays for a live line service. Yeah, you can watch the free moves, but you're usually going to get like a 5-minute delay, and I'm giving it to you virtually in real time here. So Butterscotch says he's with you, Mindy. Edmonton moneyline, Nashville lost the 6 straight games, liking the under. Hey, how about Alec Eiffel joining us for the first time, Mindy? Like having Alec here.
Always wants best play of the day, huh? The best.
Oh yeah, best play of the day. Yeah, I would say beat play of the day. I think that'd be a good name for a feature, right? The bad beat play of the day, or but he meant best play of the
best
day.
play of the day.
Yeah, I will say this to be not want to be a jerk or anything, but you'll find our best plays of the day, quite frankly, over at 46.com. We do sell those, for about $25 a piece, or packages.
And there is one on there too that Tony designates as a $15 best bet of the day, so you can actually get that for a discounted price, because he likes it for it to introduce our service a little bit too. So there you can find our best plays for the days, and they're all under a nice little tab that maybe Ramon can show you after. Oh yeah, the best free play of the day. Well, we've had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those.
Great. Yeah. And in fact, Mindy will be typing those in. What I think our best free plays. And again, I will say
maybe pick a sport and you can get our best.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right, Mindy? So we do the consensus plays. These are our best free plays of the day, right? Our consensus plays, and we repackage those. Now, Mindy will go through and kind of weigh from what we've talked about on the show and designate the free play in there, or again, you're getting all of our free plays here, but we do repackage those and sell them, and then Mindy kind of chooses kind of on what we talked about and picking a best bet of our plays and putting them on the site. So we will be getting what we talked about. The Islanders are up next, Alec. Pretty cool. Stick with us right here. We're going to give out that play in just a moment. Mindy, I'm going to go under in this game between Edmonton and Nashville. Edmonton trends way over this year. I get it, but Nashville at home, I think they can contain it a little bit here, especially at 6.5. Skinner's in there. He's been the better goalie for Edmonton. He's been better, right, than Campbell here. And gotcha. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the next game.
Yeah,
so let's move on.
We're ready to go.
Yeah, let's move on. I'm going to give out the under here. Edmonton and Nashville under 6.5. Mindy is on Edmonton here. Joe, yeah, we're working on it, Joe. We're working on it. Mindy's not exactly poor. I mean, she's got a giant farm, and I don't want to call her out and tell everybody that she's loaded, but she's got a few acres and everything. So, anyways, let's get rolling with that. Let's get rolling with that Islanders game. Welcome to Alec. We don't have met you before, but appreciate you here. Hopefully you've been in here with us. If not, welcome. Like to have you every day. We like to see your best picks too. That's what this show is really all about. We do give out our plays, but we want the plays from the chat. We like to flash them up on the screen. So looks like let's talk about the game everyone's talking about. And I don't know, maybe everybody's talking about because maybe it's, on this card where maybe Panthers Bruins is the best game, but that's the Bruins are still so hot it's not close enough. So maybe this is the game of the day, Mindy, with the Islanders and the Avalanche, because you got the champs. They're still pretty good. The Islanders have played some decent puck this year. What do you say in this one?
It's like one of those with Alec. I'm saying if I were personally, if you wanted to bet on the Islanders, for me, that would be a puck line play. But again, it's one of those that it's like a minus 190. So that would be one that I personally would not play. I don't really play too much over minus 150 because it's kind of too hard to recover with too many losses. And we know that we're in this for the long run to beat Vegas. So today I'm going to go ahead and go with the Avalanche. I think they're going to win this one. They are 6-1 versus the Islanders at home over their last 7. They've also won the last 3 out of 4. They're pretty hot right now. Islanders have only won 1 out of their last 4 here. Avalanche ranked 4th in goals. Islanders ranked 13th. I'm going to go with the Avalanche today. Again, this is one I'm giving out, as a free pick, sitting there at minus, 160. Probably not something I would necessarily jump in on, but it's real close. But for me, I'm going to take the Avalanche at home, minus 160.
And Alec, we already gave out, a $2 favorite earlier that Mindy and I both liked, and we're going to make it part of our premium consensus. And I wasn't necessarily comfortable with it because of laying such a big price. I would almost rather lay the puck line in that one. But I'm going to agree with Mindy here again. I don't mind playing this favorite at $1.60 or so. We can make it a premium pick. Yeah, you don't want to take too many losses at $1.90, $1.60. But I think Colorado at home in this one, Mindy. Look, they are. The Islanders have been good, no doubt about it, and they've been a great surprise actually to play so well so far this season, doing a great job. But I think here at home, you mentioned the series history, which is interesting as well. But decent goaltending matchup. You see that total? They're talking about it, Mindy, in the chat. With this game, I mean, especially Colorado, right? I mean, they are one of the best under teams going this season, 9-18 to the under this year. So Orlando's coming in with a derivative. He likes the first period under in this one. Islanders have trended over. There's no doubt about it. And I don't know if I could go under 5.5. Scott says that he thinks it could squeak over and get to that 6th goal. My model certainly has as many 6s as it does 5.5. So again, it's juiced to the under, which does make it kind of interesting as well. So looks like Dave's a little bit behind us, but appreciate him always, of course, always bringing good information. So let's do it, Mindy. I think it's a reasonable favorite. the Avalanche at home here. Islanders, on the road they've been 9-7 on the road, nothing to be ashamed of. And actually, both these teams have kind of been just kind of 500 teams of late. They're not as hot as they were early on. So maybe the Avalanche at home, buck 60 might be reasonable enough for me. Colorado 16-11 straight up this year. Let's take the Avalanche as a premium consensus.
Consensus play.
All right, here's the one we talked about with that steam, Mindy, earlier with the Canadians and the Coyotes, with that steam coming in that we mentioned on the under in this game. So, like you said, I mean, I kind of startled you a little bit
Yeah.
because of it opened as high as 6.5, and it's not totally across the board, but again, there are plenty of 5.5s out there currently right now. So just kind of interesting that we're seeing some 5.5s out there. Like I said, mostly at that big online sports book. I think most of the books still hanging on to 6 under 20. So I'll leave it. But the number on the screen totally is wrong because right now it's Arizona buck 15. I'll call it 6 under 20. And that way, I think the majority of the books are hanging on to 6 under 20, but that DK book, if I could say that. I know Tony doesn't want to talk about the books because he likes to use kind of nicknames of the books, but that book's 5.5.
Yeah, Dave was cracking me up, even though he's a little bit behind. It would have been more fun if it was maybe like, during the play, but still cracks me up nonetheless. But yeah, the Coyotes here being the favorite, man, I just hate it. I don't know. Canadians here are, they're ranked 26th in goals. Coyotes 28th. Canadians 9-4 in the last 13 in Arizona as well. Give me the Canadians in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Canadians with you here. I mean, if we can get, even money in this one, I'm okay with it. Uh, I'll take uh, I'll take Montreal here with you, Mindy, and ride with the Canadians. It's tough with this matchup because Montreal, they're no great shakes, obviously, but hey, they're almost 500. That's pretty good for Montreal. I mean, yeah, they've struggled of late, but you know what? They're actually over 500 on the road. That impresses me. Arizona, they're finally getting comfortable and they're building a little bit. They are 4-3 at home, but they're struggling of late. They're just 10-15 overall. Let's take Montreal. We talked about that steam, so it's kind of tough because there definitely has been some 6.5s and scotches with.
Yeah, that like totally flipped my handicap there, with going to a whole point difference.
Yeah. Well, like I said, most of the books hanging on to 620, but when you have that big book at 5.5, you wonder how long those other books can hold on to that. Scott says he's on Montreal money line, so let's do it, Mindy. Let's put our third game up. We already have two big favorites. We better get involved with an even money shot here
Right.
on the road. And can't lay all favorites. We know that what would happen if we did that. So let's take the Canadians here on the road at even money, I guess, and take them at Arizona tonight. All right, Mindy, before we get moving, I want to report some more steam coming in right now. This one's going to be in college basketball, so check out your lines here. We got a big mover. This one's going to be Weber State and Utah State. This one is currently moving higher. I'm showing right now they took it at 141.5. That was lower. It originally dipped down lower after an opener of you're right, after an opener of 143. So they took it at 141.5. But look, it's already up to 142, 142.5. 143, and I'm showing a major Las Vegas book at 143.5. So this one's going higher. Weber State and Utah State. Also want to mention, Mindy, just moments ago, while we were kind of talking about the game, crazily enough, and maybe it's reflected now in the line, but maybe not as widely reported as I would usually call it, but definitely came across the line service. They took the Islanders, and right now the Islanders, they're about a buck 30 at most spots, so went against us. Maybe
Right.
maybe when we gave it out, everybody started to jump on the Islanders. The Islanders are taking a major reported steam here within the last 5 to 10 minutes here. So, kind of interesting. We're on the Avalanche, but the steam, right as we were talking about it, came in on the Isles. All right, just a couple more
Better
games.
for us, Ramon. Better for us.
Yeah, yep. We're actually going to get it after the fact when we go in and enter those in. So, a couple more games here on a great show today, and this one. And this one's going to be the Sabres and the Golden Knights. All right. Well, not as crazy as you might think here. Golden Knights a buck 70, 6.5 over 15.
Oh, what to do, Ramon? What to do? So for this one here again, like I talk about, if I were playing this, I come up with the Sabres win today. So the Sabres here at +1.5 is -175. So for me, I would be not on that one. So then that would put me on the +148 for a money line victory here today. They have won 3 in a row now, putting up 5 goals a game here for the season. They are ranked first in goals. We all know that. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Sabres against your Las Vegas team today, Ramon.
Yeah. And you'll take on the money line, Mindy?
I'm going to take them on the money line. Like I said, I usually don't play too much over that. If I take them on the puck line, it's like 175. That's why I would pass at the puck line, unless you like playing that. I mean, some folks play up to 175 because if you win your 2 out of 3, that puts you at about even. That's probably the highest I would probably, play when it comes to that. So for me, my play would be the Sabres plus 145, 150.
All right, Mindy's going to take those high scoring Buffalo Sabres. They are definitely going more under of late. I mean, of course, yeah, number one in scoring. They're 18-12 to the over so far this season. And, on the road, they kind of trend over as well. VGK, I mean, they're 4-12 to the under at home this season. They've gotten great defense, great goaltending at home. So probably not going to be on the Sabres with you. I thought, when I see the Knights at 167, Buffalo's been a nice surprise. There's no doubt about it. And they've been hot of late too. But we know Vegas certainly a championship contender out west. So yeah, and you talked about that puck line price. I mean, definitely, I don't know, Buffalo's worth it, right? On that,
Yeah.
for that buck 70 for a team that's just 13-10 as a puck line dog. Vegas actually, they're no great shakes either as a puck line favorite at plus $1.50. They're 10-15, as a puck line favorite. So I don't know. In general, that would be slightly profitable, but I don't know. Buffalo is playing some better hockey. They don't play much D, I guess, necessarily, but of late they've been a little bit tougher. So I'm going to go under again. I'm going to go under in a Knights game at home. That seems to have done me pretty well so far this year. So that's what I'm going to go on. Nice to have you, Alex, today. And yep. Good comments there. So appreciate everyone in the comments. We're going to cover one more game. Real good show, real good contributions today is what I'm most impressed with everybody here. So, all right, let's get to the last one, Mindy. The Blues going up against the Canucks in this one. In this one, we talked about a lot of lines. Of course, that Montreal game was close. Edmonton, this one too, though, very, very close. Canucks, buck 15, maybe even a buck 10 at the discount shops. I don't know. Will it go to a pick'em? Total has moved lower, though, considerably. I'm showing 6.5 under 25 at the square books, probably 6.5 under 20 at the sharper volume books.
Well, if you can push a 6.5, I have a push on that 6.5 today.
Okay.
So yeah, for me though, I like the Blues on the puck line, but I don't have the Blues winning this game here again today. I will be going with the Canucks at the minus 115-ish. They're 16th in goals for. They're ranked 7th in power play percentage. Canucks 4-0 their last 4 versus a team with a losing record here as well. I like the Canucks today in this one.
All right, Mindy's going to be on the Canucks here at the minus price. Scotch is on the Blues. And oh boy, yeah. For me, Mindy, I don't know if I mind that play necessarily on the Canucks at home in this particular spot. I mean, looks like a decent price, obviously here. The total certainly is. What did you? Can you repeat what you said about the total?
Oh, I said if because I know it's moved, right? But I said I have it in my notes here. I have a 6.5 and I have it as a push, right? So I mean that's just based off of per tenths of a percent here and there. But I do have it come up as a straight push. So then that means if it moved to, I thought you said this one had moved to like 6 or something, or
Well, no, there were some. Let me see if there were any openers at. Did you see any openers at 6?
I did not, but so it's basically like if it was at a 6, I would have an overplay here in this one. But instead, I just have it as a push. Again, I don't love this game, so I have the Blues on the puck line, but I don't want to play no minus 274 at 1.5 goals. So then my formula would lend to a Canucks victory at the minus 113.
Okay, fair enough. No, I'm just showing right now there are 2 major books. One is a major U.S. online book, and another one is the biggest offshore book. And I just want to kind of confirm. I'm actually going to go to this. Yeah, so 2 books. Here's the thing that bothers me about it is because a lot of my model shows 6, right? But I'm worried because obviously St. Louis, they can't play an under if their life depended on it at this point. I mean, they are what you might have it. There are 9 out of the last 10 games have gone over for St. Louis. Vancouver's been a total over team this year. The 2 teams combined are 37 and 22 to the over this year. Now, Vancouver at home definitely plays a little bit different brand of defense. They're 5-9 to the under at home, so that is an issue there as well. So I don't know. For me, I was looking to try to go I was trying to go under 6.5. I like the fact that the major books kind of are moving to the under. Just like I said, it bothers me because St. Louis, there it is, right there, right. Scotch always saves the day when I can't spit it out. Or formulate what I'm trying to say, because I kind of want to incorporate the numbers a little bit, but again, I don't know what Mindy's going to say until she says it, so I never know what she doesn't. I'm not privy to the plays coming in.
No, we wing it. I mean,
Yeah.
as much as we can. We kind of like to keep it as a secret because I mean, what fun would it be if we, just came on and here's our plays at the end, Wouldn't be much to talk about that way.
Well, it's funny because when we started this show, Mindy, and it's been, I don't know how long, it's been 3 months, 4 months, I don't know.
Yeah, 3 months.
For the first 2 or 3 shows, we were like kind of sharing the play, like, what are we going to do to share the plays? That didn't last very long. It was like, why do that? I mean, I would rather hear it and then help myself formulate. I mean, I know what I want coming in, either side or total kind of, and kind of react to what Mindy says. I don't want to cross her up or anything. Like I said, when I introduce the games, I sometimes catch myself kind of planting a seed in her head of what I think about the game, and I don't even want to do that. I want to be more vanilla and just introduce the game and then see what she has to say. Orlando comes in saying Blues team total over when Spencer Martin is in the net, and look, I get that here, but I like this line move, Mindy, and maybe okay. So I don't want to give it out as a premium. I'm going to go under in the game. I'm worried about St. Louis and all those goals they've been scoring of late. Both teams, big time over teams. But like I said, Vancouver at home, they do play a little bit more defense. And at 6.5 under 25, that's the line I'm going to take. I'm not going to. If you're stuck with a 6 over and you end up with playing it at 6 even, that's almost the same price, so I'm okay with that too. But I'll take it under 6.5 here, um, just as the Steam computer quit anyways. It crashed on me. I put on the crummy computer here, so I'd have it. But the good thing the show's over because I can't. But there's no more Steam to report.
Right.
Hopefully, everybody liked that feature. That's going to be a
I
permanent.
did. I thought it was fun because look, it was Steam came in on 2 games that I'm in on, so of course I'm interested. So it was fun. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, and again, like I said, I mean, just not making it up for purposes of like this is going to
Like
be.
I said, you should almost leave the volume on just so we could hear it come in. The Steam play, because I've heard it before. It's fun.
Yeah, and I've had it let it slip sometimes on the air, but again, it's a paid product and everything. I think everybody knows what it is, but not everyone pays for live line service. I think it's important that I do so as a market style handicapper.
Right.
I always want to know, right? Like I said, for me, a lot of times when I'm making premium picks or I'm getting my picks together, a lot of times I don't know which team we're going on. But when the Steam happens, then I immediately go and look into that game. Doesn't mean I'm going to go with the Steam, even though I'm a Steam chaser, but I might be against that side already. So
I know, but look how many times I'd be like, "Hey, Ramon, what do you think the line's going to do in this game?" He's like, if I knew that, I'd be rich, Mindy. I gotta."
That's right, of course. I'm going to fade it almost almost as much as I chase it. I think I side with the Steam chasing. So head on over to our website, tonyspicks.com. We're a multi-handicapper website featuring premium plays from our team of handicappers. Click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up. There you'll find all of our cappers there. You can check out their handicapper profiles and when you look at the cappers tab, it's kind of arranged here in an algorithm that kind of shows which cappers are the hottest at the top. Who's there right at the top? Our own Mindy Hahn, right now, the hottest capper at Tony's Picks and one of the hottest in the industry altogether, plus 1,031 units over the last 7 days. And those are based on just $100 technically unit plays. If someone is coming in and, paying $25 and up. Now, granted, if you get in with Mindy's services, especially your long-term packages, you're going to be paying just $3 or $4 a play. Or if you're getting a shorter-term package, you might be paying just $5 or $7 a play. That's not a lot when you're probably wagering more than $100 a play, with all due respect. We love everybody that's coming in here, even if they're playing just their $20 plays on the free plays or whatever. We love you guys just as much. One man's pittance is another man's fortune, or a woman's fortune, like Mindy Hahn and her palatial farm out there in the Midwest's premier sports handicapper. So you see that number there.
I prefer to say a ranch. I have livestock, no vegetables.
Okay, fair enough. She's not exactly, selling her wares to the, meat factory or anything, right? So
There's only 2 donkeys.
Right, you're keeping the
Too
animal.
many donkeys.
They're
That's
just
all.
running around, right? I mean, no, we're not selling anything for profit. We have a farm of animals to enjoy their company and their lives, and that's a great thing you're doing. And so, anyways, though, so you see that plus 1,031 units over the last 7 days. If you're playing Mindy's plays and subscribing to our service, with all due respect, you're probably playing twice as much, 3 times as much, maybe even as much as 5 times that number, to be quite honest. If you're paying for, especially if someone coming in, sometimes we see them, Mindy, people buying the plays $25 a la carte. You're not going to buy a $25 play and then you'll play it for $100. I mean, that just, we can tell you, especially in this game where touts get such a bad reputation. Nobody's doing that. This is honest, straight talk. You're paying $25 for a for a pick from somebody, you're probably betting a nickel. There's just no reason why you'd bet much less than that, because no matter how good a handicapper is, you're not going to overcome that. And that's one of the total misconceptions about when people make fun of touts and criticize touts for selling their plays. If you've got successful winning information like with Mindy Hahn, you're going to bet enough not only to cover, to get that profit, but you got to cover those plays. So that's why we encourage you, Mindy, not you, but we encourage people to get with the longer term packages. All right, that's going to do it for our show. I'll give you one more piece of information, Mindy, just coming across. We've got Steam. Guess what? It's in one of the games that we talked about
Is it now?
today. Yep, it's in tomorrow's Idaho Potato Bowl.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, I did mention in the game we did take Eastern Michigan, but I talked about how so far it's been Undercity in the bowl games, right? No doubt about it, almost across the board. I think it's, how many games have there been? Because I want to say it's at least 6-3 so far to the under. It might even be 7-2 to the under. Well, under has come in on just a few moments ago, Eastern Michigan and San Jose State. I'm going to pass along a few more to you right now. This one in the NFL coming in right now. Under in Houston and Tennessee for next week. The Houston and Tennessee game is taking steam right now to the under. That is one of the Christmas Eve games, if I'm not mistaken. To me, I think that is probably a reflection that Ryan Tannehill, that ankle might be swelling up today. You saw him, Mindy, when they took him on the cart, that thing was already blown up. If you, you might have his foot, right? He had the sock on the toes. The ankle had already blown up. He really did an amazing job in that game, considering even though what happened.
It was numb that whole game,
yeah, with the score to play in that game. I didn't really have a problem with them keeping the backup in there, but Tennessee needs that game, especially with Jacksonville breathing down their necks. So they've steamed Eastern Michigan State, San Jose at 54, and one more has come in within the last few minutes, and it's Buffalo and Chicago. This one immediately went down to the under when it opened in the Buffalo-Chicago game. It went down to about 30, maybe 39.5 or 40, but they've hitting right now over 41 in Buffalo and Chicago. And I'm showing 41.5 and 42 right now. And maybe because Justin Fields, we saw him leave the field, but he came back. Wasn't he awesome?
Oh, yeah.
That run, I was so disappointed he stepped out on just that toe, because that was such an awesome run. But appreciate it. Hey, Mark Jones was here today. First time we've seen Mark. Appreciate you for being here. A great job by everybody in the chat as well. Great show. Wow, we got to get out of here. But thank you so much. Don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Check out the Who's Hot tab, and there you can break down all of our plays. But you see right there, hey, two old ladies are betting such right there.
We are
20-10 over the last 24 hours. Mindy, great job by you and Tiffany, two old ladies that bet and stuff. And don't forget the Morning Steam team, you, me, and all of our chat, 6-3 over the last 24 hours. So great job. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages. Thanks everyone for the great comments, and appreciate you. We'll catch you here tomorrow with more Morning Steam on Tuesday with better college basketball. It's a promise. Right. All right.
Well, we're not getting any younger, Ramon. So, because everyone's always like, oh, I don't like that name. I'm like, well, we're getting older every day. So, eventually we'll be the two really old ladies that bet and stuff.
And I'm an honorary member of two old ladies who bet and stuff. And yeah, you're right. We're not getting any older, and I'm dreading it, because in 9 days, another trip around the sun for me.
Yay, Ramon's birthday is coming up. Yay.
I think we'll be on the air for mine. We were on the air for yours, weren't we? And I think we'll be on the air for mine. So
all right.
All right. I don't drink coffee, so I don't know what anybody wants. If anybody wants to send me something, but I do need to kick this soda pop habit now that I'm in my mid 50s. But
What's
I
your
don't
favorite
know.
pizza place there,
I don't
Ramon?
know if
What's
I
your new
can.
favorite place?
I
Can you
don't know.
say it?
No one say it yet unless we get a sponsor.
Oh,
And
okay.
you work on that Starbucks sponsorship. So Ibrahim's birthday's coming up, it looks like, too. All right. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you so much for joining us.
See you guys later. Bye-bye.